Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the First of the Worst podcast. I am Brendan Murphy.
And I am Steve Arendis.
I always say welcome back. Should it just be welcome?
I mean, you're welcoming back a lot of people.
It's a presumption that you've been here before. But thank you if you're a first-timer. Welcome to the First of the Worst podcast.
I hope most people that have listened to more than one episode, which means that most of the time you're right with welcome back.
Yeah, although if we want to make this into a big industry, we need more than the number of listeners we have. So we want a ton of first-timers. I say the number because Steve handles all the metrics. I just know it's low.
Tons of people.
In spite of an increasing advertising budget.
Increasing from zero to not a lot.
Yeah, but that's a several 100% increase. That's an infinity.
Huge. It's an infinity percent increase.
That's how big our budget is now. Zero is a weird multiplier. All right. So we're talking we're talking TV, which is a common topic.
Yeah.
But we don't ever talk network TV, and there's a reason for that.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
We're getting more specific though. We're gonna go. So in our head, we've talked about this before, almost to the extent that we thought we did this.
Did it. We actually thought we did this list.
We thought we were gonna, and then we were thinking about it. We were thinking about should we do network comedies, and we're like, no. You know what? Network dramas are way worse. Not that network comedies are like award winning in general, but network dramas are garbage.
So the list is top 10 network dramas currently on TV.
Currently on
time, you get some winners. Because network TV was just where the good shows were.
Yeah, and we're counting the big four networks of CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox. Sorry, CW didn't make it.
See, does everyone have the CW?
I think a lot of people do. You get it over the air, but I don't know if it's in every city. So,
okay, like it was
right, like
growing up.
Smaller markets,
it would have been channel 26.
Like well, it was two. The CW is a combination of UPN and it's like two stations combined. The station that was WGN and the stations that what
You're
was
right.
this?
You're right. It is GN too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that wasn't GN in every city though either, so that's confusing to people who aren't from Chicago. It was like two stations combined.
Did we just get an extra channel in Chicago?
WGN was like a cable
WGN
station.
just an extra channel that like do other places get another channel in place of that, or did we just?
It's the superstation WGN up here. So that's why everybody's Cubs fans. It's like TBS with the Braves. It was a cable station everywhere else, but in Chicago it was just on TV.
Well, I know that the cable thing.
The difference is like you don't get the news in other stations. You get like some weird TV show, like something starring Lorenzo Lamas would have been on at that time.
Yeah, they got a lot of that shit. But we digress as we tend to do on this. WGN was Steve's MTV as a youth. That's why he's so fucking cool.
That the span like Univision.
I mean, that's where the hot chicks were.
Yeah, they were hotter than Telemundo. I think that was my personal preference. All right. So yeah, we didn't cut the CW. Few notes.
Steve's just telling you that basically when he was in puberty, he may have masturbated to a channel that didn't have English as his native tongue.
I know some Spanish words.
And happy other Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
For us, it's
Cinco de Mayo for us. For you guys, it'll just be like May 11th. But if you want to relive Cinco de Mayo.
And because it'll be later for you. One thing to note on this list: The Good Wife is no longer on the air by the time you're listening to this podcast. But
it really didn't do. I was not really feeling compelled to like put that in a prominent. We'll get to the actual list, I suppose.
I think some people would probably be like, "That's one of the better network dramas on TV." But it technically his last episode is this weekend, so by the time you guys listen to it, it will not be on the air anymore, so it doesn't count.
And big ups to Steve for noticing that.
Because it wasn't on the list. I'm like, wait,
we worked off a Wikipedia list for each network.
I have 50 shows on my list. There's 50 current network dramas, and so we had to whittle that down to 10. Which whittling it down wasn't the problem with this list. It was building it to 10.
I had to do research. Okay, so I both tried and didn't try in the research because I didn't know what most of these shows were. I mean, like you could figure out what Chicago Fire is by the name, so I didn't need to click on the Wikipedia entry to know that was a piece of shit. But
one other thing I want to say about this list, this is a list of 10, and I've ranked mine based on. So I guess there's like, I don't know how you say what the best show is, but mine was like, if gun to my head, somebody's like, you have to watch a full season of one of these TV shows, not just one episode. I did it off a full season because one episode, like, there's some shows I could just like make fun of for an episode, but I wouldn't want to watch a full season of it. Not that I want to watch a full season of any of these, but you know what I'm saying. Full season's different than an episode. And just by making this list, I also want to make one thing clear: I'm not endorsing anybody watch anything on this list.
No, that's a good point. We should have made that very clear at the top. We should have had more of a disclaimer to avoid any actual.
I don't want people to think these are recommendations and then get like really mad when somebody like starts watching a season of one of these shows.
No, and I mean it's been, and I think we should discuss a little bit why network TV is so bad now, and that's because of the rise of cable TV and the premium channels with just creative kind of film type TV shows.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't understand why they've like the network TV stations still think like we should have. Like, we've kind of proven that, like, maybe 24 episodes a season doesn't get you as good of a product.
You're right. Because some of these shows, when you look at their Wikipedia page,
there's so
like
many
6 seasons in, and they'll be 190 episodes deep.
There's one I, like, vaguely want to talk about, but I don't know if you have it on your list. I'm going to type it to you quick.
Oh, I don't have the typing thing open. Hold on.
It'll pop up when I type it to you. Some inside baseball for everybody listening.
Okay, hold on.
Is that show
not on my
list?
But I actually made a specific note about it.
All right, let's just talk about it now.
Bones. So we have a few notes of TV shows that are not on our list. I'll type you one other one that I might want to mention. Bones has been around will be filming its 12th and final season next year.
So I had an argument with somebody that I claimed that Zooey Deschanel's sister, who's the star of Bones, has more money than Zooey Deschanel, and she does.
Definitely.
She's filmed like 1 million episodes of Bones.
And she's been executive producer of that show for like at least the last 5 seasons.
She makes so much money; it's unbelievable for her and like the guy who was TV's Angel, who's like the star of it. I don't have that one on my list either. So let's talk Grey's Anatomy 2 over it.
Yeah, I mean that one's been around since 2005.
I every once in a while I have to watch an episode of that because like my mother-in-law is over and like we're eating dinner and it's like on at the same time. I'm like, fine, you can put it on TV while we're eating dinner. Like I don't care. And it's brutal. Like none of the people are on it.
No, it really did just kind of ER left and then that became ER.
Yeah, and now I'm assuming just like another show, maybe that might make it one of our lists. Well, like one of these other shows. It's crazy how many of these shows like on these networks are like there's like 8 versions of them.
Oh God! I mean, we should just start on the list. My number 10.
I'm typing one more to you, just because we have to talk about it, and it's not on my list.
Oh, okay. The Law and Orders. Although I think that is the only Law and Order.
Law and Order SVU is the only one, and I've never got people love like this is one of the ones that even like respectable people like love Law and Orders.
No.
They do though. Like they watch like reruns of them.
Okay, but that's like when you're hungover and don't have the will
Yeah,
to
but
live.
do you do that?
No.
I would just think my Law and Order SVU hot take is that maybe I'm just not into sex crimes, and that's why I don't watch it.
You prude.
It's all this like horrible sex crimes. Why does anybody watch that show?
And always women. Women love sex crime shows.
It's so bad. Like I don't understand why people watch it. Like
Ice-T is a gifted actor.
All right, let's just go. There's so many possible ridiculous shows to talk about.
Ice-T
all right, what's your
on that show, Ice-T too. He just is dressed like I would dress if I was going to a bar mitzvah when I was in 7th grade. Like no tie, slacks, a bad striped shirt, and a leather jacket.
John Mulaney has amazing.
I don't want to go too deep on Ice-T.
If you ever just look
Mulaney.
up John Mulaney SVU Ice-T, it's a hilarious bit.
Yeah, but I won't watch a show like that in a rerun because I'll just watch an HBO. I'll watch The Sopranos for the 500th time.
See, that's the difference. I don't watch reruns. I don't watch reruns. I'll just watch like garbage television rather like for the first time rather than a rerun.
I mean, I've been doing that since I was a kid. I have seen Follow That Bird 1,700 times.
Yeah, you're a big rerun guy. Well, I think part of it was because once again, we always like to get back to this. I didn't have cable, so I didn't have a lot of options for TV when I was a kid, so I had to watch a lot of reruns. So now I'm done with them. There's no more reruns in my life. I don't do it.
Okay, so without further ado, and there was plenty of ado, let's get to the list.
What's your number 10?
My number 10 is actually The Good Wife, and it was just kind of there. I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about it. I don't want to steal one of your theories, especially this early in the podcast, but I'm going to break it out. We can maybe bring it back later. About people who think they watch good shows.
Yeah, that's what The Good Wife is one of those.
So people who think they watch good television say certain shows are good when they're
Dexter.
After season 1, maybe. Sons of Anarchy, big one.
Yeah, those are like
The Newsroom is the show that I believe you penned that theory based on.
Yeah, Newsroom is the pinnacle of this.
And so people who watch good TV think they watch good TV. It's like people who think they have good taste in wine, but just buy expensive wine without knowing that it's shitty, which actually would be me. But I know good TV when I taste it.
I know I don't have good taste in wine, so I just buy nothing.
I don't have good taste either, and I would never spend money on something like that. But if I were to pretend, it would just be me buying expensive because I don't know what's good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, same here. All right. Yeah. My number 10 is okay.
So did your wife make your list?
No, because I didn't include it. I didn't include it.
Okay, so you called it ineligible.
Yeah. My number 10 I've never seen, but I feel like I could at least kind of enjoy making fun of because it stars James Van Der Beek and Lil Bow Wow, and that's CSI Cyber, which, by the way, is maybe the only thing using the term cyber besides Cyber Monday nowadays.
You're right.
Like, you would assume a TV show with the word cyber in it came out in 1997, but it's from 2015 is when it started. And I think I can get behind this.
If it includes cyber, you should be using Prodigy to hook up to the internet.
Exactly. I wonder if that show like takes place in like a near past, and that's why it's like busting people on the internet in like 2001.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about the CSIs. I didn't put anything that I would call, for lack of the better franchise. I guess that's probably what you'd call it.
So no NCISs or CSIs or Chicago shows?
Minds, which now exist.
Did the Chicago shows make your list?
No.
None of those. CSI Cyber was my only one from those, just because I thought I could maybe enjoy making fun of it.
I'm not going to. I will call you out on no picks because this list was. I could make a pretty solid case that this is the worst of all the lists we've done in 50 plus lists.
It might be Wars. What about Wars? American
Wars was shitty. Well, that was just a shitty podcast. So this will be a better podcast.
Yeah. My number 9 then is a remake of an old show. Starring
way higher, but I've never seen it.
Starring Scott Conn and the guy that played Jin from Lost, Hawaii Five-0. And it's like
this is really high on my list.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
I watched one episode once.
So you have the bias of knowing that it's shit.
Oh, it's a trash show. But like at the same time, it's like, oh, cool. Like there's like, you know how like Survivor, like it just looks really pretty on your TV. Like whether you like Survivor or not, it just looks good. Like that's Hawaii Five-0. Like looks.
It's like
good.
It's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good looking show. Like there's like sweeping like views of Hawaii. Like it's a pretty show. You can just kind of veg out, I think, and that's why it's 9 on my list.
I have it really high. So we'll talk about it again. But it's not based on anything rooted in like an informed opinion.
I have reasons for all of mine.
I mean, I have some reasons for that too, but like they're not informed reasons. They're speculative.
All right. What's your number 9 then?
My number 9 is, God damn it. I printed out my list and it'll print in the middle of we have a wireless printer here at Chateau Murphy. My number 9, people really do seem to like it, but even the people who like it admit it's trash. Scandal.
Oh, it's number 7 on my list. I've seen a couple episodes because of my wife.
Girls,
it's not good.
I mean, girls are kind of into it, but they are into it and they not in a serious way.
Kerry Washington's kind of great, but I feel like it would have been higher like a year or two ago. I feel like this show's past its peak already.
Which goes to what you were saying of a 30 episode season and how ridiculous that is.
Oh, so there's an old network show I loved, and unabashedly, I don't care how embarrassing it is. I loved The OC. That show could have been on forever if there was like 12 episode seasons, but they had to blow through like 1,000 storylines in like a season. It was crazy.
Yeah. I actually was into The OC too. It was when I was in college. Good excuse to hang out with chicks and watch some shitty TV.
And like, go hang out at the sweetest club. Oh, that's the list we still haven't done. Fictional hangouts.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, yeah, the Strokes are here this week, and only 7 people are here.
Yep, the Strokes.
It was the music on that show was awesome.
It's like Postal Service, and it's like us and our friends.
Yeah, it's like Postal Service plays the Max.
Essentially.
Lisa Turtle's like, what's going on? I'm not an impression person. I don't do accents. I'm like Costner.
So that was your number 9?
My number 9 was Scandal.
Well, that was my 7, so we'll just skip that one. What's your number 8?
I feel like this could be on your list. It's horseshit. Elementary.
Oh, did not make my list. Is that the Lucy Liu Sherlock Holmes joint?
Sherlock Holmes in modern America being a consultant for the NYPD. I don't know.
Love it.
So, I mean, this is kind of going to get me. There's just no fucking original ideas. None. Nothing is original. NBC, so I counted this. NBC has, I wrote it down, they have 9 dramas about cops and 3 dramas about doctors. That only left like 2 shows left that I didn't count, and one of them was about like an FBI agent who had like tattoo maps. NBC should just be called Cops and Doctors.
CBS has 3, like NCIS, there's 3 different NCIS shows. That's basically about like internal affairs Navy crimes. There's 3 shows about that on CBS.
How many people are even in the Navy?
I don't know. There's 3 shows about that on CBS. It's bananas. Like, I don't understand.
I guess at least with the Chicago franchise, like, it's a big ass city, so there are firefighters and lawyers and cops and doctors.
Yeah. There's NCIS, which I have no clue where that takes place. There's NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS New Orleans, which I believe stars Scott Bakula.
And you know what? They also had JAG, which was also about Navy court stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, man.
Honestly, my knowledge of most of these shows, especially the CBS ones, comes from watching football.
Oh yeah, you like the commercials.
I mean, that's how I'm going to bring it up later, but The Blacklist is like Sunday Night Football is just an infomercial for The Blacklist.
Yeah, that's like one of NBC's best shows, like ratings wise. I don't know. So wait, what was your number 8 then? I just forgot. We got sidetracked again.
Elementary with
Elementary,
yeah. And some British dude.
Yeah, some British dude. That sounds about right. My number 8 is stars it's Nashville starring well, I don't know who the actual star is, but in my heart it's Tammy Taylor from
It's Connie Britt. I think it's her and Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, I've seen like an episode.
All right, so last
people
night
download a lot of the songs from it.
I watched Blackish, an entire episode of Blackish last night.
It's not terrible.
It was actually pretty good.
Like, it's not the best show, but like you're like, oh, okay. Like, it's not the worst show you've ever seen.
It was it was a pretty funny show. Like, the writing was pretty good. Anthony Anderson's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, it basically
was literally not in it at all.
The show could have just been called Modern Family: Black, but they had to go
Which
like
is what CBS would have done.
Yeah, if it was CBS, it would have been Modern Family Black.
It would have just been, or like coded language, like Modern Family: Oakland.
Yeah, it would have been something like that. That's exactly what it would have been. Not anymore though. Oakland's too wealthy. It would have been like Oakland's too expensive now for it to be that. But yeah, something like that.
Fresno. I don't know.
Yeah. So Nashville. And then my 7 was Scandal, which we already talked about.
So I actually would like to do. So my 7, I'm gonna skip and actually come back to because you already talked about Nashville. I want to do my 6 and my 5 together.
Oh, that's fine. We can jumble it up. Go for it. Do they kind of link together?
They do in my mind.
Okay.
But maybe I should just do 7 and then we can come back to this.
Okay. Yeah. What's your 7?
7 I picked because network TV is horrible while it's trying to be good. This show, from what I gather, is horrible intentionally and pulpy. And I'm sure it does a poor job of executing it, but I don't hate that idea. It's called Scream Queens. It's got a lot of hot girls. It's about sorority, and it's just a 24-episode horror movie. And I hate horror movies, but I at least like that this is something different.
It seems like they tried.
Leave shells in it of like.
So you just like give him a 7 off of effort?
Yeah, I gave him 7 off of effort. Also, I would say that looking through the rosters of dramas per network, Fox is definitely the one that takes the most chances.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they just don't have. I mean, fucking if Bones was on another network, there would be so many Bones. There would just be nights of TV about forensic fucking anthropologist or whatever that fucking show is about.
What they would have done is Fox
would be a really popular college major now.
Like, Fox wouldn't have given Zooey Deschanel the new girl. They would have given her Bones too. Like, that's what they would have done. They're like, actually, Zooey, we give you another Bones show like your sister has. Is what would have happened. It would have like Bones Jr. She's the younger sister, right? She's
Little Bones.
Yeah, Little Bones. That's a better name.
And it would be a show specializing in child crimes, and girls would love it.
All right.
So I will do my 6 and 5 together because I think these are like, one is just the black version of the other one.
Is it Nashville and Empire?
Yeah, and I put Empire 6 and Nashville 5 because I think like musically Nashville seems a little more appealing. Also, I hate hockey.
It doesn't. By the way, I've watched Nashville as I think one of the few places our Venn diagram and musical tastes overlap is the kind of country music we like. It's not the kind that's on Nashville.
Of course not, but I'm not really a hip hop person anyway.
I have Empire 3. Empire's way better than Nashville.
I mean, I culturally, you kind of you that doesn't.
Oh, I do.
Me at all.
It's way more ridiculous. So I've watched a few episodes of Empire. I'll just talk about it now, even though it's my 3. It's so off the wall crazy. I think I watched my first episode of this season last night, so I'm really prepared for this list. Things that happened in the episode last night. Here are all the things that happened in an episode of Empire last night. The gay guy, the gay son, fucked his producer in the studio who was not openly gay. But then something awkward happened, and I think maybe the producer wanted to fuck the other guy in the ass, but he doesn't do that, but now he's going to do that. So that happened.
You have had a couple shots because you don't usually get this vulgar.
Terrence Howard's character, they've met his mother who was presumed dead. So now she's there, but she's a psychopath, obviously. And the other kid, the rapper son is having a baby with one woman who is his dad's ex-girl, who was his dad's fiance, is about to bang this girl he's doing a song with and is married to another person. So he's got a little situation with ladies. But that's what's going on in Empire, if you needed to know.
Okay, so that is another symptom of why these TV shows often suck. Once they get popular, they think to heighten the popularity or to keep their audience, they need to go crazy.
Well, here's the thing. That's what Empire started. Like, Empire's not going, like, this is just the pace that Empire set for itself, like, right away. And they have no other choice. Like, they just have, they can't turn it down.
You're right. You're right. Like, look at the first episode of Mad Men or The Sopranos. Like, nothing really happens.
Yeah. They can't.
It's
like
a
Empire.
slow burn. These shows are just like fucking scorched earth from day one. Empire
in like 5 episodes has more plot lines than the Mad Men had for like the entire run of the show. It's insane.
I mean, I've said all along that I think that pop culture is the poor man's intellect. And that's why I'm good at it. And I think that nothing, and then acclaimed television is poor man's books. But I'm good at acclaimed television. So I'm going to champion it.
Yeah. Yeah. Empire, though, I mean, hey, if there's nothing on TV at all, like, I don't even suggest watching full seasons of Empire, but like, just tune in. You don't need to know what's going on. You're like, what? This is crazy. And just watch it for like an hour.
I mean, I'm flying tomorrow. So you're saying if I get a choice between Nashville and Empire,
I would take Empire. I would take Empire. You'll laugh more. Like you'll laugh at how ridiculous it is, and it has that aspect which Nashville doesn't really have.
Yeah. What I meant to say is I watched like 5 minutes of Nashville last night, and the only thing I saw was Connie Britton getting a summons for an emancipation from her child.
They have so much more in TV shows than happens in real life, or it happens to people starring in TV shows, which I believe the daughter on Modern Family got.
Yeah, she did. But that's a crazy story.
Yeah, there was some crazy. The younger daughter on the show. They're like the same age in real life, but the younger daughter on the show.
One who plays the younger daughter.
Yeah.
Less attractive. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. So that was your 6 and 5. Your 6 was Nashville. Oh, your 6 was Empire, and your 5 was Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't even know where we are. We're all over the board, but that's fine. My number 6. I have really weak logic for this. Gotham. Batman's kind of cool. That's my logic.
I mean, it didn't make my list, but it sounds better than Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
or Supergirl. I watched an episode of it on a plane, and I was like, okay. In my head, like the guy who plays young Commissioner Gordon, like he's still just like the OC guy to me, and I'm just like waiting for him to get in like fights at the.
I mean, at least they didn't make this into a shitty movie prequel that they spend 3 months building up. I can just totally ignore that it exists.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess I'll do my number 5.
Yeah, go for it.
My number 5 is a show that like critics actually like. Like it's like critically acclaimed, and I know it's been nominated for Emmys. I literally don't know when it's on. I don't think there's ever commercials for it. I don't think anybody watches it. It's on ABC. It's called American Crime.
I hated that up Pritzel because I thought it was like ABC trying to be edgy, and I just assumed that the execution's horseshit.
That's why it's not higher, even though it only
I'm sure the
reviews.
Is terrible. First of all,
gets good reviews.
There are so many Emmys.
Yeah. To be fair, it is nominated for like the miniseries Emmys.
Okay, but that could actually mean it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It is one of those shows. It is one of those shows where like each season's like different. Even though there might be like a couple rollover characters, but like each season is like a completely different thing.
Yeah, I feel like it starts up in January. Like they don't do a whole first half of the year.
All right, something like that. So let's get back on track, which means you're gonna do your 4 just.
Okay, but before that, since we've been jumbled, I'll just recap what I've done.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
These are the top 10 network television shows currently running, and I'll start from number 10 is The Good Wife, which will be over by the time you hear this. Number 9 is Scandal. Number 8 is Elementary. Number 7 is Scream Queens. Number 6, Empire. Number 5, Nashville. And number 4, and this is a reboot, but it's a reboot with all the principals. And people who like good television and people who've gone on to produce really good television, like Vince Gilligan, came up through the show, and that's The X-Files. I haven't seen it, but like it could potentially be not terrible.
I've heard it's hot garbage.
Okay, which would make it like everything else I've already read.
I've heard it's hot garbage.
You think my logic isn't terrible there?
No, I mean the original one people seem to like.
I mean, it was a stretch, but all of it is.
I've watched the original X-Files like twice, and it was the same episode. And all I remember is that it featured that song "Hey Man, Nice Shot." That was all I remember about the X-Files.
It was a dark show.
Yeah, it was a dark show. Yeah. So I mean, I guess potentially it's still got the same people, right? They like not like Gillian Anderson had anything going on, but Duchovny did.
I think he didn't.
He was a star of one of those shows another one of those shows that like people think is good, Californication.
Yeah, just say you like tits. That show was just bad dick jokes and tits.
Yeah, it was just like pervy. Like there was nothing else about
like
that
maybe
show.
Season 1 it was kind of funny.
It was very repetitive, I feel like.
Yeah, it was hard. Okay, that one fell into the trap of like okay, it was kind of funny, and then at the end of Season 1 he gets his wife and kid back, and it's like, but he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even a network show, and they
But Showtime will run a show to the fucking ground with the best of them.
Showtime is the network of premium channels. Like they will just have a show on forever. They'll never cancel a show.
Yeah, I mean, Weeds, Dexter, Californication wasn't even that good to begin with.
Weeds was like good, and then you're like, oh my god, where is this going?
Super bad.
That's so bad.
Shameless.
Yes, also a show that was good that got bad. Weeds wasn't Weeds like actually like supposedly done multiple times. They were like, this is the last episode, and they're like, okay, just kidding, we're doing another season.
And every year, Mary Louise Parker got nakeder.
Never ages, apparently.
She's a beauty.
She's like way older than you think, too. Okay, I guess I'll recap mine then and get up to my 4, right? That sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
My number 10 was CSI Cyber. Shout out to Vanderbeek and Bow Wow. My number 9 is Hawaii Five-0. My number 8 is Nashville. Number 7 is Scandal. My number 6 is Gotham. My number 5 was a show nobody in the world has ever seen, American Crime. And my number 4 is a movie spun into a TV show, which I've seen 1.5 episodes of. It stars the character of who named Evan Chambers from one of my old guilty pleasures from ABC Family, Greek. And sometimes stars Bradley Cooper, and it's Limitless, the TV show.
Bradley Cooper has to have a producer credit.
Oh, he's like, yes, absolutely. He's in like 2 episodes a season for like a minute. But the one I saw, so I started watching it because I flipped on the channel. Like I turned on the TV, you know when you turn on TV and like whatever you were watching before, like it was on, and like Bradley Cooper was on the screen. I'm like, whoa, Bradley Cooper's on this show? I'm gonna watch it. And like that was it. Like he was off the screen. Like he wasn't on it anymore. It was quite the trick they played on me.
See, so if that show existed independent of a movie, I'd be more enthusiastic of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Bradley Cooper's character, who's barely on the show, apparently like gave this other character who like is a guy who like vaguely looks like he could be Bradley Cooper's little brother, like this super drug or whatever, and like he used it to like solve crimes.
I saw that movie in the theaters.
Did you?
Just went to go see a movie one day. It wasn't like I intentionally. It was like, that's what's out.
I got that sometimes. I've done that before. I totally understand that move.
It was fine. It was an entertaining 100 minutes of my life.
I never saw the movie. I've only seen the TV show. So then my number 3 has already been done, and that was Empire. We already talked about. So then let's do your number 3 and 2.
My number 3 is The Blacklist. People seem to like it. Don't really have much else to say.
I hate Spader.
I hate James Spader can carry David Spader, whatever his name is.
It's James Spader. David Spader. It would be a not funny, not
that
serious.
Guy was on a season of The Office that was horrible, and that's one of my favorite shows ever. It was intolerable to watch.
Robert California. It's a great name, but yeah, that The Office got like bad, and then like kind of like the last season
rallied toward.
They rallied at the end. It wasn't as good as it was before, but they rallied it into like an acceptable show.
They had like a good last few episode run.
That was a show where it was so good for so long. I was just like pot committed, and I trudged through those terrible episodes.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a top 10 all-time sitcom. I'd have to write them down, but it's in the team picture.
Yeah, it probably is. So that was your number 3 was The Blacklist, which I seriously only know from commercials on Sunday Night Football. You're right.
And my number 2, I think this is on Fox.
Oh, also people's dads and moms love to tell you The Blacklist is good.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, Sunday Night Football's it.
All right, so what was your number 2 again? Sorry for interrupting.
It's called Wayward Pines.
Oh, it's also my number 2. I've never seen it. But look,
okay, sounds not that bad though.
I kind of want to watch it.
It's like clearly a Twin Peaks ripoff.
Yeah, which is coming back, but I don't know if it's going to be on a network. So
I've never seen Twin Peaks.
Okay, so is Wayward Pines produced by? Is it an M. Night Shyamalan joint?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan joint, which sounds intriguing for a TV show at least. Whatever, like take your step. It's like a guy taking a step down to like dominate the series below. Like it seems like he could do it.
Well, yeah, he needs it.
Yeah. So then you got Matt Dillon, Carla Gugino, who I'm a huge fan of, and Shannon Sossamon. Big flashback from the past. I'm also a big fan of Juliette Lewis, Melissa Leo, Terrence Howard. That's a star-studded cast.
And it's like an FBI agent is trying to find these 2 other FBI agents who like were maybe taken by aliens.
I assume it's M. Night Shyamalan. There's some weird twist, okay?
Yeah, they're just in the woods. That's where they live
now. But yeah, I kind of am intrigued by the show. Like when I was reading about it, I was like,
even though I could pinpoint exactly what it was ripping off, it still felt somewhat original relative to everything else I was reading.
Just because it's like it ripped off a show that was like more of a cult show and not like a super popular show.
Yeah.
And it's a show that's like there hasn't been really another show that's that much like it.
I've never seen an episode of Twin Peaks.
I think I did once, and when I was young, and I didn't get it because I was young. All right, so my number one, I don't know what your number one is going to be. My number one, because there's no way we have the same number one. I'll be shocked. My number one is a show that I watched an episode of this season. It might be its first season. I don't know. So I might have only watched an episode because it was starting on TV, and the night before, I saw this really hot Indian woman at the Oscars, and she was the star of the show. And it was on my TV. I'm like, I'm watching this. And it's called Quantico. And I think it's on ABC.
The second I read that title, I was like, Homeland ripoff next.
Guess what? I watched one episode. I might like it more than Homeland.
Oh, that's definitely a show that people who think things are good are into.
Homeland season 1 was legit.
Season 1 was great, but when it only took 1 year for them to be sneaking their equivalent of Bin Laden into the U.S.
Also, like, I knew halfway through season 2 is a trash show. Like, I was like, Homeland. I'm like, they're just doing all the things a garden show would do to try to like prolong everything. Like, and then, but Quantico, yes, it's just like, it's like an FBI training or CIA training, and like one of them is a terrorist. There's a lot of flashback and flash forward. There's a trial going on in the future, and you're living in this past. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. I was weirdly into it.
So maybe ABC is doing some all right stuff. You've kind of convinced me a few of theirs might be not terrible. Not as terrible.
I think you want to steer very clear of CBS, but I think we all knew that. You know what? You might want to steer clear of NBC too.
The worst. Looking at it today, I was like angry at NBC's lineup.
Because like NBC was like the awesome station of our youth. I guess maybe for a kid who didn't have cable.
No, it was. I mean, dramas weren't as good. Like NYPD Blue was a really good show at that
Homicide.
time. NBC produced Homicide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had the good comedies, obviously, back in the day.
Well, ER was a big show.
Yeah, NBC was like a good station, and then I don't know what happened. I'm sure a different person got in charge or something. Is what happened, and they just got dumb.
I mean, things just got worse in general. Just like the model of finding one thing and riding it into the ground.
Who started? So it was NBC started that, right? Law and Order.
Did CSI do it before Law and Order? Law and Order had to.
Law and Order was first. Law and Order was first. So like there was a few Law and Orders, but now it's just SVU. I think is the only one that's left, right?
Yeah, they don't even have original Law and Order.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, so that was my number one. Quantico, starring former Miss World and Bollywood star Priyanka Chopra. All right, that was my number one. What is your number one?
Hawaii Five-0.
I want to hear your logic for rating Hawaii Five-0 number one.
Movie in TV show form, which means it's way worse. There's not as hot of women. There's not as cool of explosions. But you don't have to think, and there's going to be some car chases.
It's not as action movie-ish as you'd want it to be.
Well, that's my logic. I haven't seen it, so I get to go on my own. I get to go on like the quippy lines from the commercials in between the Raiders-Chiefs game at 3:45.
There's definitely quippy lines. There's definitely quippy lines.
They write that show to cut it up to play during football games.
Yeah, it looks great. It's like cold outside. It's like cold outside. You're watching football, and then it's like Hawaii, and like Scott Kahn's making a funny joke.
Yeah, you're so right though about Hawaii. Like, I mean, I'll talk about good movies for a second.
Yeah,
I think that's why I love Sam Mendes movies so much, is because like no matter where they are, the place just looks so pretty.
Yeah. Though you know
like what show Road to Perdition? They're in the middle of nowhere, like driving to their death, and you're like, man, I wish I was with them.
You know what show did the opposite of that? True Detective season 2 made California look like the biggest shithole in the world.
Well, the cinematography was the only good thing about season 2. I think that cinematography was legitimately good.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of sweeping shots of infrastructure.
You're right. It wasn't legitimately good. It was just relative to the fucking
other things on TV.
The atrocity that everything else was.
Yeah. It was quite the show. Are we ever getting a True Detective season 3? I feel like if we do, it'll be like in 2 years.
I feel like it'll be in like 8. Like if once the stench of this one is worn off and the guys had time to write a good show.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm not rushing another one after that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't either. He can, even if it's not called True Detective, that dude could sell his show to somebody else again and get it on
Yeah,
TV.
but I mean, if I'm him, I'd probably want to stick with HBO, right?
No, I agree, but I'm saying like if HBO doesn't want it, I'm sure he'd get somebody to grab it.
Like, I mean, if I didn't get HBO to bite and I was a producer for something like that, I think my next call would be Netflix.
Yeah, so HBO turned down Mad Men, right?
Yeah.
Famously.
I guess AMC's done a lot of good stuff. Maybe that is.
Well, do they do anything anymore?
Better Call Saul's fantastic.
Oh, you're right. But that's just because they gave the guy his redo.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's a really good show. It actually is a good show.
Yeah, I like every time I watch it, I like it, and I hate that I like it. Because you're talking about like unoriginal ideas. Like we're literally just like pulling out more of the show, and like it's not even that interesting. I don't think it's just like
I said slow burn already, so I don't want to just be a cliche, but that's what Breaking Bad was. Just watching this person devolve into someone horrible. And that's what Better Call Saul is.
Maybe it will be that, because I struggled with the first couple seasons of Breaking Bad.
They were slower.
I like watched it, but like I didn't like watch one and be like, gotta watch this next episode. So like, even though like, cause I didn't like watch it from the beginning. So like I would have them all there, but I just like, it took me a long time to get through the first few seasons.
I do think it's a little overrated in the pantheon.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah. Like it's a great show, but I mean, don't put it in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah, it's not the GOAT. I don't know what the GOAT is. It's The Wire, right?
It's The Wire, The Sopranos, or Mad Men. It's one of those 3. Right? I mean, this is probably
I don't really like that. I don't think The Sopranos is that good. I mean, it's good, but it's not. I wouldn't put it in that. I think Breaking Bad's better than Sopranos.
Ugh, that's it.
Sopranos just has like entire like episode arcs you should just cut out of the show.
But that's what's great about it, is that it's the first show that not everything had to loop together and tie up. Like all these ridiculous storylines exist on Empire because everything needs to have a loose end and everything needs to be heightened constantly.
Well, I mean, Sopranos is now the best show ever because you're comparing it to Empire head to head.
Part of the
you just scheduled a cream puff for that argument.
Sopranos versus Little Sisters of the Poor. It's week 1 of the college football season.
No, I mean Sopranos. I think part of it for me is I think if I would have watched Sopranos when it first came out, I'd probably think
you watched it too long after it came out. I think that's like why I don't even know if I want to watch Twin Peaks. Like 20 years later, watching a show in the future that was set in the present when it was shot, it always bothers me.
It's tough. It's tough, and just I don't know. Like, I mean, Sopranos was so good because of like how like much better it was than everything else on TV.
Yeah, it changed the game, no doubt about that.
Right. Yeah. What is the show that I think that was my thing with Entourage, where like I was like, I always say like how bad Entourage got, but I'm like, I don't know if Entourage actually got bad, except that like when it first started, there was no show like good like shows on TV, so it just seemed better in comparison. And then by the end of it, there was like great shows on TV, and you're like, oh, this show sucks.
It was a comedy, but like look at Eastbound and Down, like the first like couple seasons of that show.
Yeah, have you seen the trailer?
That's Comic Genius. I have seen the trailer.
Vice Principals.
Vice Principals.
Starring him and it's like one of the guys from what's that show? It's an FX show with the
Justified.
Justified. I don't know. I don't have an opinion if that's one of those shows that people like. I think it actually
another one of the shows that I didn't see that a lot of people like, and I've seen most of them because I didn't have sex for a long time. Is Deadwood. Never saw Deadwood.
Oh, dude.
People love Deadwood.
I went back and watched it on HBO Go. There's only like 2.5 seasons of it. It got canceled. And you get to see like Ron Swanson's dick.
What a man.
You get to was like just
dude. He'd be great on Deadwood. He probably was great. He's probably
barely,
just Ron Swanson in the past.
He wasn't. He was like a hardo thug, kind of. He was like a goon in some guy's gang. He wasn't like a main character at all by any means. He wasn't. But yeah, and yeah, one of the stars of that show I think is going to be on Game of Thrones this season, from what I hear.
HBO keeps it all in the family, baby.
Oh yeah, once you're in forever.
HBO show, you're a lifer.
You're in forever.
You're never gonna be super famous, but
what was I watching the other day? Oh, I watched Empire. Oh, another thing about Empire. Bubbles is on it.
Bubs.
Bubbles is on Empire. Good to know. I was like, wait, Bubbles is on the show, and Jess had no clue who I was talking about. She thought I was talking about the girl in the scene.
It actually wouldn't be like that crazy.
No, exactly. I'm like, no, it's that guy. He was a crackhead. Actually, a heroin addict.
And very redemptive.
Very redemptive. Very redemptive. Yeah, no, he's just driving around guys to get murdered.
That makes me sad, but at least some people from The Wire had good breakouts. Because Bubbles is incredible. That guy's Andre Royo, I believe. That guy's an incredible actor. Like Marlo has a show now, but Bubbles doesn't have a show.
Yeah, Marlo had some shows, right?
Marlo has like an Amazon Prime show, maybe.
He was on another show on TV for a minute, right? And then obviously.
Oh, by the way, Catastrophe on Amazon Prime.
Is it good? I've heard it's good.
Really fucking funny.
Okay, I don't even know what it is.
One trap you'll run into. You might fight with Jess when you watch that show. It might be like that movie. What's that most ridiculous movie with Heath Ledger and his wife, where they hated each other and they were married? Blue Valentine.
Oh, I never saw that. That was back from the days of Netflix, where I would get DVDs sent to my house, and I'd be like, and they would sit in my house. Like certain ones would sit in my house for like 2 weeks. And I'm
it was Ryan Gosling. That's why I fucked that up. It's Michelle Williams and Ryan Gosling.
Okay. I never watched it, and I was just like, man, I'm just not in a Blue Valentine mood. No. That and Hurt Locker were two movies that just sat in my place forever.
I watched Hurt Locker while I was doing laundry and to leave the room like 5 times. Does
Netflix still send DVDs? Like, is that an option? Can I actually subscribe to Netflix and get DVDs sent to my home?
I don't know, but there are 3 Blockbusters in Oak Park that are now ATI physical therapy establishments.
No, like, seriously, can I not do that? Like, is that a thing?
I bet they discontinued it at this point.
Or it's like expensive because like not as many people do it. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're really not tech savvy.
Well, I mean, the thing was about that is you got a lot more movies. Like
you got more choices. You didn't get more. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, you could get like movies that aren't.
You could get whatever you wanted. Basically, once it was out, it was Netflix available.
Like Netflix's movie selection kind of sucks.
Oh, their new releases blow.
It's kind of garbage. Like,
yeah, I mean, the cable Xfinity gets as much better movies.
Yeah, so I don't. It's weird that they've just completely changed us over to like a station that has like now new TV shows, stand-up comedy, and documentaries. Like that's what they have. Yeah,
and it's really worked out for them because the overhead on these documentaries, they're already made. They're just paying to stream them.
Yeah.
And the comedy specials, they're not even doing all original stuff. Hannibal Buress has one that's half old material.
Yeah,
I don't even Netflix special.
I don't even think they do. Like, are there even that many more documentaries on there? Like, I feel like I went on there and like there's a lot of documentaries like I watched on there like a long time ago, or like what still comes up.
I don't know. I feel like there's a good amount. Like they have the streaming rights to the 30 for 30s. It seems like a month after they come out, they're on Netflix.
Yeah, they definitely do that. They come out like a month later or something like that.
Which is good because I didn't get to see the Magic one, so I'm hoping that'll be out soon.
Yeah, that one's good. You'd enjoy that one.
So right. We strayed from this list long ago. That was a good podcast about bad things, which is kind of what we do here at First of the Worst.
Yeah,
we do it semi-weekly.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're kind of on that Saturday Night Live schedule.
I'd say like 3 times a month is pretty.
Yeah, it's like the three on, 1 off.
Yeah,
you need
totally
that
to on that.
Recharge your comedic bones.
Yeah, and we have live. I mean, we try to have lives.
Yeah, every once in a while we just can't do it. Like I think that's what happened last week. Actually, sometimes we just slack off, but last week was like we couldn't actually do it. I don't think.
Yeah, just I mean, Steve's got kids, and I got parents to live with, so we got things to do, guys.
All right. Thanks for listening again. Subscribe to us on iTunes if you haven't. Please do that and write a review, or Stitcher if you're a Android person. We got approved by Google Play. I don't know when it'll actually be up there, so you could check it out if you're a person that uses the Google Play app on your Android phone. Maybe, I don't know. Check it out, see if it's there. Subscribe to that. You should just subscribe to these in all of these places. Like,
yeah, you should. Good point.
You should subscribe as many places as possible and just have them. You don't have to actually listen to this ever. Just download it.
Yeah.
Download it and share it.
I mean, honestly, we have big families. We should be getting a lot more downloads than we're getting.
My family's not as big as I think. My direct family is big, not my extended family. But well, thanks for listening, everybody. Maybe I'll do some more tequila shots and my Cinco de Mayo.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, later.